in Hollywood, it was after I did Coach Carter, and I saw Eddie Murphy and Johnny Gill tongue kissing,
Oh.
and this is like out in public. So a lot of the things that y'all think they do.
They're doing things behind closed doors, like Eddie Murphy, who knows me very well. You know, how well? Very well. You know, and what hurts me about him is, if anyone was after this meeting, and it will be filmed, they asked me, "What do you know about Eddie Murphy?" I'm not interested in destroying his life. I'm more interested in destroying his wife's life. I couldn't do that to her.
Y'all, Nicole Murphy is not done talking, and this time, she's bringing the receipts. Nearly 2 decades after her split from Eddie Murphy, whispers are turning into shockwaves. And while the world once thought they knew everything about their picture-perfect Hollywood love story, Nicole's recent move suggests she's been holding back some explosive truths. Rumors have been swirling for years about Eddie's wild nightlife, his unpredictable behavior, and even his alleged double life. But now it's resurfacing that Nicole knew more than she ever let on, and chose silence, until now. Let's rewind. Nicole and Eddie met back in 1988. It was instant, a fast, fiery romance that led to a home together and the birth of their daughter Bria. They made it official in 1993 and, for a while, they looked like one of Hollywood's strongest couples, but behind the scenes? It was chaos. By 2005, they divorced, citing irreconcilable differences. But that's Hollywood code for way too much drama to make public. Nicole walked away with a $15 million settlement and a media circus. She was painted as the gold digger, especially after being caught kissing a married Antoine Fuqua years later. Eddie didn't stay quiet either. He publicly shamed her for embarrassing their family. But Nicole? She wasn't about to take it lying down. Over the years, she's dropped hints, quietly suggesting that she endured things behind closed doors that would have shattered any woman. And now, those whispers are getting louder. Allegations are resurfacing from the 90s and early 2000s. Claims that Eddie was a regular at wild Hollywood parties, had ties to powerful figures like Puff Daddy, and was frequently spotted in places known for transgender escorts. One woman even shared online how her sister saw Eddie pick up a woman named Octavia directly from their Brooklyn apartment, in a limo. And let's not forget, Eddie was caught with a transgender escort back in 1997. That wasn't a rumor. It made headlines. He claimed he was just offering a ride, but people didn't buy it then, and they definitely don't now. So is Nicole finally ready to break the silence? Or is this revenge? Either way, people are starting to question the real reason behind their divorce. Was it just money, or something far more disturbing? Because if even half of what's coming out is true, Nicole didn't just walk away from a broken marriage, she escaped a hidden Hollywood underworld.
I always said I would drop Murphy if I get remarried. And I always get asked that question, how come you still have Murphy? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, listen, I was married to that man for years, okay? I earned my name. I deserve my name. I have 5 children with that name. I didn't see any harm in keeping my last name.
Now y'all, if you thought the drama between Eddie Murphy and Nicole Murphy ended years ago, think again. Because new details are creeping out, and allegedly, Eddie was living a very shady double life, one Nicole knew all about. Let's be real, Eddie always gave party boy energy. He literally sang, "My girl wants to party all the time," and it wasn't just lyrics. Behind the Hollywood charm and blockbuster hits, Eddie's relationships were stormy, chaotic, and according to insiders, hiding something much deeper. Nicole Murphy, who stayed silent for years, is now allegedly sharing that Eddie's womanizing wasn't about love or loyalty, it was about distraction. He was never able to commit to one woman for long. He'd chase them hard, love-bomb them, and then suddenly lose interest, leaving them confused and heartbroken. Take his relationship with Whitney Houston. In Robin Crawford's memoir A Song for You, she described how Eddie pursued Whitney hard. But once he had her attention, his energy flipped. He allegedly mocked her hair and wigs, throwing slick jabs until Whitney had enough and walked away. Robin painted Eddie as cold, emotionally manipulative, and dismissive of Whitney's worth. Sound familiar? Nicole says he moved the same way in their relationship, and in his messy public fallout with Mel B, Eddie literally proposed to Mel B, even went to her father to ask for her hand. But when she got pregnant, Eddie did a complete 180 and denied that their daughter was his, publicly. The painful twist? That little girl was born on Eddie's own birthday, and Nicole? She allegedly endured all of it. the gaslighting, the emotional distance, and the growing suspicion that Eddie's interest in women was more about optics than passion, because for years, rumors swirled about Eddie's preferences, whispers about Hollywood parties, late-night cruises, and secret relationships with trans escorts. In 1997, those whispers exploded when he was pulled over in West Hollywood at 4 a.m. with 20-year-old transgender escort Shalimar Seiuli in the car. Eddie claimed he was being a good Samaritan, just offering a ride. But the public didn't buy it, especially since Nicole and the kids were conveniently out of town. He said he was out looking for something to read. At 4 a.m.? On Santa Monica Boulevard, Nicole never exposed him, but now, she's letting the truth breathe. And it's clear, Eddie's past wasn't just scandalous.
And I'm not gay, and I'm not, and that's what's weird about this, to have your sexuality question and your moral fiber question and all that, when all I was doing was trying to be nice to somebody.
Eddie Murphy tells E.T. that his wife and children were out of town, says he wanted something to read and went to a late-night newsstand. He stopped here and picked up the suspected transsexual at 4:45 in the morning. He says he thought he was aiding a distraught woman.
Looks like a pretty Hawaiian girl in the corner crying. It looks like she was crying. She goes, oh, Eddie Murphy. She noticed him at the light. She recognized Eddie Murphy. Oh, my God. So I go, what are you doing? Why are you out here working the streets so late? She goes, oh, I'm on my way home. Can you give me a ride home?
Police tailed them for 2 miles before pulling him over.
Now, this all went down just 4 years into Eddie's marriage to Nicole. And what are the odds that he just accidentally picked up a transgender escort out of the kindness of his heart at 4 a.m.? Though Eddie managed to dodge major backlash. Back then, the scandal never really died. It came roaring back when legendary trans icon Octavia St. Laurent spoke out. And let's be clear, Octavia didn't hold back. She was proud, unfiltered, and fearless. And when she called out Eddie, she didn't whisper. She said his name loud and clear, and the streets heard it.
Is being run by perverted undercover fags that run around talking about how straight they are. You got big time celebrities that go around in their cars picking up transvestites, having sex with them, and then getting on national TV making fun of them. Everything you do in life is like a boomerang. When you throw it, it eventually comes back.
Octavia allegedly dated Eddie for a while and later revealed she was deeply hurt by how he treated the transgender women he was involved with. She implied that Eddie was ashamed of those relationships and tried to keep them hidden, never fully acknowledging the women he was secretly drawn to.
And the women that they're married to wouldn't believe a word you said about them. And these are the reason why we have to start speaking out. Because these men who are famous or straight or perceived to be these macho guys are coming out behind their wives, their children, having oral sex, being the women behind their women's back.
Now look, Eddie Murphy never publicly confirmed anything about a relationship with trans icon Octavia St. Laurent. But that didn't stop the streets from talking. Octavia never claimed Eddie was her man, but she sure dropped enough heat to get people's attention. And in Hollywood, where there's smoke, there's usually a 5-alarm fire. Her words reignited old rumors, and suddenly people were remembering things they had once brushed off, especially about Eddie's alleged hidden lifestyle. After Octavia spoke up, whispers started surfacing about Eddie being a known chaser. Someone who frequently pursued transgender women, even though he publicly denied it. Several trans women in the industry have since claimed they'd had encounters with Eddie during his late-night party days, and then, things got even messier allegedly. Eddie wasn't just into women, behind closed doors, he was also into wearing women's lingerie. And while that's nobody's business on its own, folks were more upset about the hypocrisy. Eddie would turn around and make crude jokes about the LGBTQ+ community in his stand-up sets, mocking the very people he was said to be intimate with. But it wasn't just the escorts. Eddie also had a tight circle of male industry friends, one of them being R&B singer Johnny Gill. That name has come up a lot over the years. And now, it's back in the headlines. Way back in 2005, Johnny's ex-girlfriend dropped a bombshell. She said the reason she left him wasn't cheating, it was Eddie. I couldn't compete with their relationship, she said. It was strange. I can't even explain it. At the time, Johnny was reportedly living in a guest house on Eddie's property, and sources claimed their friendship blurred a lot of lines. Some even speculated that Nicole Murphy walked away because she got tired of dealing with both of them under one roof. But now, things are heating up again, because a male escort named Flash, known for attending Diddy's infamous parties, just confirmed the tea. He claimed Eddie and Johnny weren't just close, they were very much a couple. And he says he saw it with his own eyes at one of those wild celebrity gatherings. If even half of that is true, Nicole didn't just leave a man,
Walking
she
down
walked
the
away from a
stairs,
whole double life.
Cause I was just checking out. It was in the Hollywood Hills, so I was walking down the stairs, and they were kissing at the bottom of the banister, like. And I'm like, damn, the nutty professor really is nutty. like he really is, like, and they were going at it, like, for real, like swallowing tongues.
Let's be real, in today's Hollywood, nothing should shock us anymore. Because one thing that's crystal clear? There are plenty of men in the industry living on the down low, and they go out of their way to project something else entirely. And Eddie Murphy? He's been dodging DL rumors for decades. No matter how hard he tries to shake them, his name just keeps popping up. And at this point, people are starting to wonder, where there's that much smoke, how could there be no fire? One viewer put it perfectly, nothing surprises me about these celebrities anymore, especially these black gay men. So honestly, anything's possible. More power to them. Another said, Johnny Gill living in Eddie Murphy's guest house? Come on now. People warned Nicole for years. And one even said, none of this sounds far-fetched. People just need to be who they really are. Period. So now we ask you, what do you think? Was Nicole sitting on the truth this whole time? Have you heard any other wild Eddie rumors back in the day that might finally be adding up? Sound off in the comments below, down arrow, and don't you dare scroll away without hitting that like button, subscribing, and sharing this with someone who needs to hear the tea. Catch you next time.